I did something kind of risky, but also kind of fun. I decided to buy $5 worth of Bitcoin every day for 35 days as an experiment. I'm definitely a little nervous about losing money, but I figured, why not give it a shot and see what happens? I pretty much told myself that every dollar I put into this was already gone for good. This one's for anyone curious about Bitcoin, but not ready to dive in with big money. I'll walk you through how I did it, what happened to my money, and why I think this kind of experiment can be a cool way to test the waters. Let's cover the basics first with the question of what is Bitcoin anyway? I mean, all I knew at first was that it's this internet money everyone's obsessed with. Just kidding. Okay, Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, and no one knows if Satoshi is one person or a group. Satoshi outlined the technology in a 2008 white paper like a blueprint that explained the whole idea behind Bitcoin. And the idea is simple. Bitcoin is digital money that allows for secure peer-to-peer transactions on the internet. Unlike apps like Venmo or PayPal that rely on banks, Bitcoin is decentralized, so you can send it directly to someone anywhere in the world without needing a bank's permission. Instead of a bank, Bitcoin's transactions are kept on a blockchain, a kind of digital ledger that records every transaction ever made, spread across a whole network of computers globally. Like a bank log, except it's not sitting in one place or controlled by one company. That means no one person, company, or country controls it. And unlike the dollar or other currencies, Bitcoin has a fixed supply. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever. This built-in scarcity is one of the reasons people call it digital gold. No government can step in and print more Bitcoin, so it can't be inflated or manipulated the way traditional money can. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $93,000, but you don't need to shell out that much to get in. Bitcoin is actually super flexible. You can buy just a fraction. It's divided down to 8 decimal places, so you can own just a fraction if that works better for you. The smallest unit is called a Satoshi, so whether you want a big chunk or just a slice, Bitcoin makes it possible. So how does Bitcoin actually have value? That's the big question, right? It's similar to traditional currency in that it's a trusted way to store and exchange value. Over time, Bitcoin's proven to be useful, secure, and widely accepted as a digital asset, making it something people can trade for goods, services, or other investments. Plus, Bitcoin's value comes from its scarcity, security, portability, and ability to handle transactions of all sizes, which means it's a flexible currency. Let's look at how Bitcoin stacks up to traditional currency according to a comparison from Coinbase. Who manages Bitcoin? Unlike national currencies managed by governments, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network of computers running open source code. How does Bitcoin hold value? Mainly through supply and demand. There's a limited supply, so as demand rises, so does its value. For traditional currencies, value comes from trust in the government that issues it. How is Bitcoin secured? A network of computers verifies every transaction, and anyone with an internet connection can participate in this decentralized system. By contrast, traditional currencies rely on third parties like banks and governments to secure transactions. And while Bitcoin doesn't come with physical bills or coins, you can still spend it at places that accept crypto. Take AMC, for example. You can use Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Shiba Inu, wrapped Bitcoin, and 5 USD pegged stablecoins to pay for tickets, snacks, and more on their app or website. Alright, here's how I got started. I used Coinbase as my crypto exchange, which made the process pretty simple. First, I tapped on deposit to add funds. I'd already set up my payment method, so from there I just entered the amount I wanted, 150 in this case, and selected USD as my transfer currency. You could also use USDC, which is a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, though it's issued by a private organization, not the government, and is a bit different from a central bank digital currency. After that, I hit preview, then deposit $150 now, and done. Coinbase processed the transfer instantly with no fees. You'll get a notification once the funds are in your wallet, but in my experience, it's almost immediate. All right, let's get into it. Time to buy $5 of Bitcoin. I'm in my Bitcoin portfolio now. I'd already grabbed $10 worth of Bitcoin on October 1st and 2nd. We're adding another $5. I'll tap Trade Bitcoin, select Buy, and enter my limit price of $60,300. That's just the price I'm willing to pay for it. If Bitcoin hits that price, the order will go through. Then I enter $5, choose cash as my payment method, and hit preview buy order. Here's the quick rundown. My limit price is $60,300. Good for one day means my order will expire after this trading day if it doesn't fill, and post only ensures lower fees if it's filled. Everything looks good, so I hit place buy order, and it's done. So crypto markets are open 24/7, unlike the stock market, so I can jump in and trade anytime. Coinbase is my go-to, but there are tons of other options like Kraken, Robinhood, and so many more. It can honestly get overwhelming, but Coinbase just keeps it simple and easy to navigate, which is why it works for me. Each day I'd buy at whatever the price was. I used a strategy called dollar cost averaging, or DCA. Instead of going all in at once, I spread out my investment over time to average out the cost. On high days, I got a little less Bitcoin. On low days, I got a little more. The idea here is to avoid the stress of timing the market perfectly. No charts, no panic, just a simple, steady habit. And this strategy really works well with Bitcoin because it's so volatile. One day prices can be up 10% and the next they're down 15%. All right, let's dive into the numbers. So after 35 days of this experiment, my $175 in Bitcoin had grown to around $196. Not bad, right? My original plan was to keep buying every day for a whole year, but when Bitcoin's price shot up, I decided to lock in some gains. I sold when it hit $75,000, and here's how that went down. I opened up my Bitcoin portfolio, tapped on Trade Bitcoin, and watched that graph jump around. It was a bit nerve-wracking seeing it spike and dip. Okay, tap sell, set my limit price to $75,000, hit max, tap preview sell order, and after a quick double check on the order preview, tapped place sell order. Done. Here my total cost basis was $173.93, and my proceeds came to $195.87, giving me a gain of $21.93. Okay, it's not life-changing, but profit is profit, especially in an experiment like this. We all know Bitcoin reached an all-time high of around $93,000, but I was still happy with my little win, even if I cashed out early. It's a good reminder to stick to your goals and not get too caught up in the ups and downs. Anyway, I'm ready to try this again. Remember, Bitcoin is volatile, so invest only what you can afford to lose. Bitcoin is definitely a high-risk game. It's not a sure thing. It's more about the potential and honestly a bit of that long-term optimism. This whole experiment taught me a few things about Bitcoin and myself. Watching that price chart bounce around day after day really puts Bitcoin's wild ride into perspective. One day I'd be up a few bucks, and the next I'd be down. It's a constant dance. But with just $5 a day, I didn't feel that panicky stress like, oh no, did I just buy at the top? This daily $5 habit kept it chill and fun, way less stressful than trying to time the market perfectly. And you know, it was a good reminder to stick to the plan. My original goal was to buy $5 every day for a year, but then I decided to take profits when it hit a high. I couldn't resist. For anyone curious about Bitcoin but feeling nervous, this approach might be worth a shot. Even a small daily amount can get you some skin in the game without putting your nerves on edge or risking big losses. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. If you're interested in Bitcoin but want to ease into it, starting with a small daily amount like $5 is a great way to dip your toes in. Just remember, crypto is crazy volatile, so invest only what you can afford to lose. Here are a few tips to make the most of this kind of investing. Stick to your plan. Don't let the hype make you throw in more than you planned. Keep learning. Bitcoin and crypto are evolving fast, so stay curious and informed. Secure your crypto if you're in this for the long haul. Consider moving your Bitcoin to a wallet for extra security. Enjoy the journey. Investing small amounts regularly can help build a habit and teach you the power of patience. All right, drop a comment if you're thinking about giving this a go. Just a heads up, this isn't financial advice, just a little experiment to see where a few bucks a day might take us over time. And can we talk about the fact that there are already 710 of you here? That's wild. Let's see if we can push it to 1,000 by the end of the month. Thanks for hanging out and being part of this.